What is something women wouldn't care about that would freak men out? I don't know about men hair in particular because my husband never talks about it, but I have long hair and the amount of hair I lose is kinda a lot. It's not because I have a disease or anything like that, it's just because it's always in a messy bun, and when I let it out comes all the loose hair. When the uterus lining comes out with the blood. Or when the period cramps move to your butthole. When women fart, sometimes it doesn't go straight out. Sometimes it goes forward through our labia and out that way. In college, I found out that women commonly feel chest pain and just chalk it up to stress. If I felt chest pain, I would go to the ER. I don't know if this was the case everywhere, but all the girls in our class would regularly sit on each other's lap and generally be physically close, and nobody ever questioned it. I was like 14-15 when our female chemistry teacher explained that hydrogen peroxide breaks down blood. The guys in class were like, "How did you know that? It's so cool that we can know how to break down blood," and the teacher plus us girls were like, "Periods." I'll never forget the first time a female friend sat down to pee whilst we were in the bathroom. I saw the string hanging out, then she pulled out the tampon. She thought because I'm gay that I was just one of the girls. Waking up in a pool of their own blood. Women are all, "Yeah, it's a Tuesday and I started my period." Men would be all, "Oh good God, I'm dying." Blood after using the bathroom. That giant blob of mucus your vagina plops out about a week after your period. That a woman's urethra is barely noticeable and so close to the vaginal opening. This is so common. You will often hear of men that think we pee and give birth out of the same hole and can't believe we have 3 holes down there. Edit. Based on some responses, the education system has been a complete and utter failure. Being shorter than your children by the time they're in 8th grade, LOL. Going to the bathroom together. I saw it firsthand at the Body Worlds exhibit. There is a section of fetal plastination where we got to see the different stages of development. Us women were bent over the display case taking in every minute detail, almost holding our breath in fascinated awe. The men were awkwardly crowded off to the side, seemingly repulsed by the idea of seeing the inner workings of the fetuses, maybe due to the fact that each one had died in utero. Normally, there isn't such a binary in behavior per gender, but this was across the board. Needing a tampon. I first bought them for my mom when I was 12, and other kids thought I was insane. Mom wasn't feeling good, so I got on my skateboard to the base exchange, box top in hand. But women. Such amazing solidarity. Those things can be expensive, and no woman rations them when asked for one, they give 2.6. Edit. Want should have been wasn't. Body hair. Diva cups. Getting catcalled. All women are sadly used to it. When it happened around my ex, he was livid and didn't realize it happened more than you think. Period blood. Most of us really don't care how big your penis is. Edit. You just can never tell when you comment on Reddit how it will strike so many people. Take the comments to heart, guys. Them random shooting pains you get up your asshole sometimes. I'm not sure if this freaked my male students out, but it made them laugh until their sides hurt. Teaching in middle school, when someone called over the intercom for one of the girls to check out early for a dental appointment or whatever reason, the girl would hug all the girls and tell them they would miss them and see them tomorrow. The boys would die laughing at the sheer absurdity of it. Sexual history apparently. Also hairy arms. Partner gaining a small amount of weight. My ex was super weirded out that one time a random girl asked me for a tampon and I just pulled one out of my purse and gave it to her. Like, what's the big deal? They come pre-wrapped. And it's not like she was asking me because she had other options. An unopened, sterile tampon being on a surface within 5 feet of them. Bleeding for days. Breastfeeding. Period cramps in general. You always see those videos of men getting hooked up to the pain simulators and they're really struggling, but that's just an average Tuesday afternoon for us. And worse for girls with PCOS or endometriosis, the men would not function on that level of pain at all. Sorry to generalize. Wearing a thong. I really don't get how y'all are okay with fabric between the cheeks. Seems very uncomfortable. A baby squeezing out of our genitals. Going braless. Women yawn. Men doinng. One thing that women wouldn't care about but would freak men out is finding women's hair in odd places. This was mentioned in a Reddit thread where a woman's husband found her hair in the oddest places and resigned himself to the fact that he would take pieces of her wherever he goes. Additionally, men often think that women care about the size of their manhood, but in reality, 99% of women don't care about penis size. Women care more about personality and attentiveness in bed and outside of bed. I don't know this. She used his razor once. Men call the razor police. Strangers talking to us in a public bathroom. When she says, "I don't care where we eat," and watches the mental breakdown begin. When pregnant, I got something in my 3rd trimester called lightning crotch, where the baby basically kicks your nerves and you feel like you've been struck by lightning, and not in the good way. Bleeding between the legs every 28 days for approx 3-8 days, sometimes profusely with clots and tons of debilitating cramps for most of their life. Deaf decidual casts. Blood, especially in large quantities. It's just another average month for us. I think most women are used to a baseline of pain discomfort that's more or less constantly present, and that it would absolutely floor men. If it's not my period, it's indigestion or ovulation or cramping from my IUD or tenderness of breast tissue, etc. I tell my husband that there's only about a week every month that I'm truly free of hormone-related pain, but I'm not sure if he really believes me. The decline and fall of the Roman Empire, apparently. In my opinion, body count. I think men care about how many people a woman has slept with way more than women would care. As a guy, I found this thread very entertaining, very informative, and also would have not fully freaked out but not freaked out. Giving birth. How comfortable women get with each other. Me and my friends will talk openly about our bodies and sex life, about our periods. Me and my bestie will fall asleep in the same bed, and all the girls in the group have compared our not safe for work pics at least once. Not to mention that we pee in the same stall whilst having a casual convo with each other. I've noticed a lot of women do that. My boyfriend said it's odd because he's never seen that behavior in men. Going to the restroom in teams. I'm extremely pee shy. The amount of physical pain women feel during a month. Cramps, headaches, nausea, all relatively normal. I mean, even after a couple of decades of it, I'm still freaked out by the bleeding from my groin thing. Bleeding out of genitals. It only freaks us out the first time, then every other time it's just frustrating. Nudity in front of their friends. We are overthinkers. My husband tells me he is an in-the-moment thinker, but I can't stop my mind from thinking of all good, bad, important, unimportant scenarios to prepare for possibly years in advance. LOL. Tampons. And the inserting and removing process. Blood after using the bathroom. The electrical shocks we get that run straight to our nipples and our assholes. Having a cold. The amount of women who change with each other and shower with each other has always blown my mind. Me and my ex talked a bit. I made it clear I wasn't uncomfortable with it or anything, I was just confused how it didn't make them uncomfortable, and she said it's just how girls are, they all have the same parts. But at 23 years old I have never seen another man's dick in person. and I really do think I'll make it to the day I die without seeing one, nor will one ever see mine. I don't understand how they're so casual about it. Talking to someone who is on her period. I've actually met a guy who didn't want to talk to women on their period. I was dumbfounded. Luckily, he got chewed out almost immediately by other girls for saying such dumb BS. Sitting on the bathroom counter talking to your bestie while she's in the shower, in the same breath, also not being weirded out by seeing each other naked. Blood in your panties. Bleeding on the floor. Most women I know just say shit then wipe it up, but if a guy was bleeding on the floor, he'd probably be pretty worried. Waking up covered in blood. As a mum, the sheer amount of body fluids you might deal with in a day if, say, your kid is sick and you have your period, you might be cleaning up puke, poo, and blood before 9 a.m., and offering emotional support at the same time. There have been